Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Also check out our Instagram at Carryandcut, and I sure do appreciate all the Patreon support. So let's get right on into this thing. Before we get, well, I guess I shouldn't really say that. Before we get into this thing, I want to give a huge shout out to Jimmie Crowe. This is another one of his knives that he sent over for us to take a look at. So Jimmy, really do appreciate it. Wouldn't be able to put all this content out if it wasn't for you, man. So that's, you're definitely a real true player, and all the people that are supporting the channel, sending their stuff in to me, you know, it really means the world. You know, I don't have $1 million to be able to buy all the pocket knives that everybody wants to see, and you know, everybody has different tastes, and I do like to see, you know, everybody's different takes on everything. So it's definitely pretty cool, and really, you know, opens my eyes to all the different knives out there that you can get into and that you can actually collect. So this is another pretty easy to collect series, I guess you could say. This is the Byrd Meadowlark 2. So for those that are not, you know, too well versed on the whole Byrd line of knives, this is Spyderco's ultra budget line, I guess you could say. So Spyderco does have some made in China stuff like this Resilience here. This is one of the made in China knives that you can get from Spyderco. This is definitely a more pricey model out of that whole lineup, I guess you could say. But so then they step it down even further to the Byrd lineup. So I would say that, you know, if you're looking at like your Syncut and Civivi lines, this is pretty much kind of like the same thing. So this is their even lower entry level into you know, Spydercos in general. So definitely pretty cool. They still do have a great value and pretty good quality at the same time. So I really do like the idea of it. You know, you're pretty much kind of getting a Delica, I guess you could say. So we'll do some size comparisons and we'll go over it about some overall general things about the knife. So you're looking at $37.41 that I've seen on the Blade HQ website. Maybe you can find that cheaper on Amazon. I'm going to link this down in the description below. So I will get some better, you know, better pricing, at least the best pricing that I can get. I'm not going to promise that I can be able to find these brown scales either. But let's go ahead and get a little close-up of this thing. So we're looking at 8CR 13 MOV on the blade steel, which is not everybody's favorite steel, that's for sure, but it's definitely not the worst thing you could have on there. It's not like a 440C or some kind of surgical stainless or anything like that, you know. So you're getting a stainless steel, decent edge retention, decent little bit of toughness on there. So, you know, this isn't going to be, you know, some crazy hard-use knife. I mean, this thing is, you know, super thin, pretty slight, well, very slicey. We're going to do a little paper test on it and see what the edge feels like. But this thing is definitely going to be a slicer of a knife, really easy to carry, super lightweight. Really do like the little bit of jimping they have going on here in the blade. It's not as you know, pronounced as your Delica would be. Actually, yeah. So on the Delica, it's pretty much the same thickness of the blade shapes, I guess you could say, at least the blade stock thicknesses. But the jimping is completely different on this one, and of course the bidirectional texturing on the Delica is different from the Byrd series. But you know, you can really see the resemblance of what is going on there. So yeah, we'll get onto the handle here. So we do have a injection molded plastic, I guess you could say. It's not a G10, but like a FRN or GRN or glass reinforced something. Not really sure exactly what it is, but it's some kind of injection molded, and it is bidirectional. You know, no matter which way you're feeling it, it's got like a kind of like an angled setup on it, and you can kind of see that there. So, you know, you're pulling your thumb down on it this way, it's going to grip you, and you're pushing up on this way, it's going to grip you. And you do have that nice jimping down here on the bottom for this finger twirl too. So that's nice to see. This knife has, you know, great control, easy to use. We do have a mid-mounted back lock, which is, you know, nice to see. It's going to be nice and tough. We do have a 4-way adjustable pocket clip, tip up, down, left or right hand carry. Of course, we got our signature Byrd opening hole. Can't really call it a Spyderco opening hole, but it's still the same sort of deal. Looks like a Byrd beak. Kind of even mimics the shape of the blade in some sense. This is going to be a drop point blade on this thing. So let's go ahead and get some sizes, some measurements out of the way, and see what this thing's got going on. So let's get right on into it. We are looking at, put that right up there on the tip there. We're looking at just over 6 3/4 of an inch, maybe 6 and almost 7/8. Not really quite 6 7/8, but a little more than 6 3/4 on the overall length of the knife. Blade, we are coming in at almost a little over 2 3/4 inches of blade on this thing. Sharpened edge is right at 2.5 inches. So definitely a smaller knife. It's nothing too crazy. Let's go ahead and get a weight on it real quick. Well, we'll try to do the old caliper test on it and see what we're coming in at. So it looks like 90 thousandths. You know, I wouldn't, I bet it's around 90 thousandths, 95 thousandths maybe. I already complained about the calipers in the last one, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm not going to keep going on that. Let's go ahead and get a weight on this thing. Let's get Miss Carryandcut's kitchen scale out. All right, go ahead and zero that thing out. There it goes. We're looking at 2.2 ounces, so that is under our inch per ounce guidelines a lot of people like to go by, which, you know me, I'm not really too hung up on all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get some size comparisons out of the way here, up against the Spyderco Delica, of course, and we're pretty much the same exact parameters on there. If you've ever handled a Delica, you're going to know exactly what this thing is like. Overall thickness, it almost looks like the Meadowlark 2 here is going to be thicker than the Delica. Let's go ahead and get an overall on that one. So we're looking at 38, about a third of an inch, a little over a third of an inch on that one. Actually, it's reading the same exact thing. Oh, so it might just be a little play on the eyes there, but it definitely does look a little bit thicker. I don't know, pretty cool. So yeah, that's awesome. Clips are going to be pretty much identical on these models. I don't know, yeah, not very deep. Of course, they don't come deep carry, but still, that's a pretty good size comparison right there. If you have ever used a Delica, then you know what you're getting into. How about up against the Spyderco Yojimbo? We're going to keep a Spyderco theme going on here for our size comparison knives. So, you know, where it's a little bit bigger, or I mean, a little bit smaller than the Meadowlark there. What am I saying? The Yojimbo is bigger than the Meadowlark. How about that? How about the Para 3? So that is a pretty good, you know, the handle is going to be bigger on the Para 3. Actual cutting edge is going to be just about the same there. And how about we do our PM2? So that's a pretty good size comparisons what you got going on there. We're definitely closer to the Para 3 than we are to the Para 2. PM2. And I think that's about all I need to do for size comparisons on this one. Like I said, for your $37.41 that you're going to be investing in this thing, I am definitely not afraid of buying one of these. You know, we do have T8 on the pivot, we got T6 on the body screws, T6 on the pocket clip, and of course with, you know, this is a completely ambidextrous knife. It's definitely not a finger safe locking mechanism, which is my preferred thing. That's where I really do like a lot of Spydercos. A lot of their knives have, you know, at least out of their USA line, they're all going to be that, you know, really good finger safe locking mechanisms. Really do love the compression lock. I love the ball bearing lock on the Mannix. Just great knives. I like everything there is to like about Spyderco. A lot of people don't. They say they're ugly, and I can kind of see why, especially with this one. I mean, I get it, but until you actually use a Spyderco knife, and you know everything is thought out very well. They are made, you know, super ergonomically. Everything is thought out, I guess. So if you've never handled one, get one of these cheap ones, and then you'll see why they're such great users. You know, the ergonomics are great, really great, lightweight. Especially their USA stuff, is even their Taiwan stuff, and even their Seki City Japan stuff. It's all, you know, super high quality products, high quality materials. You know, you're paying a decent amount, a good price for what you're getting, especially the USA stuff. I mean, it is, you know, this like this one right here, this Maximate PM Para 3. This thing is incredible value. I was just looking at these, and I think they're like $230 some. You're getting some of the best, highest edge retention steel that you can get. This stuff is incredibly high. Well, the edge retention is off the charts on this stuff. It's not going to be a stainless steel, and it's probably not that tough, but man, you probably never have to sharpen this thing once you buy it. So it's pretty cool. Really do like everything there is about Spyderco. Wish I was a sponsor, or wish they sponsored me, I guess. Man, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? But yeah, so if you guys have any questions or anything, please let me know. I have, you know, I really don't have too much more to say about this one. It's just pretty, you know, something cool. And if you're looking at to give one of your buddies a knife, or anybody, you know, any of the family, birthday present, anything like that, this would be something good to get them started. Especially if, you know, you want to get them into the, you know, Spyderco craze, which I've definitely been bit by the Spyderco. So yeah, it's cool. Get one. Give it to somebody. You know, put it in your backpack, your car. Use it as just a dedicated beater knife. You know, whatever you gotta do. It's not going to be something you're going to cry over if you lose it, because you're only spending just a little bit of money. And we even have a hidden lanyard, not really hidden lanyard thing, but you know, through the clip right there. Of course, you're not going to be able to use that up top there, but if you're using it tip up, left or right hand carry, you can still use that lanyard thing. So that's definitely important for some people. Steven, I'm talking to you. But yeah, so overall, definitely a pretty cool knife, and make sure you check it out. Thanks, guys.